discuss the affairs of this nation. Thank you.
All right, sir. Of course, we know how the PDP in Lagos State and the PDP as a whole feels about the election, but there are reports that the president-elect Bola Tinubu has set up committees to meet aggrieved presidential candidates to start the healing process. Is the PDP receptive to such?
You know, when you talk about being receptive, when you talk about being receptive to that move, brilliant move on his own part, but the majority of Nigerians are completely ashamed. The chairman of INEC promised the whole world that we are going to have a new beginning. Mr. President himself signed a new electoral bill. They completely encouraged Nigerians that this time around we will be going like the civilized world. From the polling unit, the results will be transmitted to their server. I was miffed, shocked, that on that very hour, on that D-Day, he has the temerity of purpose to tell us that there were hitches in the the technology. It is absolutely shambolic, disgraceful. It is not acceptable. For God's sake, when will Nigeria have the will to tell the truth? When will Nigeria come out of this doldrum of nonsensical things? How can you tell us, you convinced us? In fact, on November 22nd, 2020, last year, you came up and reassured the whole country, the whole world, that we are coming into the level of civility. So how did he come to this stage? For me, the election was absolutely shambolic, didn't make any sense, didn't make any iota of civility, and it is unacceptable, for God's sake. How can we? But let me say this. People are spinning. They are talking, congratulating. Congratulating what? That was the way we had done elections in the past, and they had not helped this country. Now you are throwing up the same bad eggs to manage the resources of this country for the betterment of the people. They had failed woefully in the past. And the coming election, this governorship election, let me advise Professor Yakubu and his team. If he finds out that the beavers, the electronic transmission, and their servers are not going to work, I am appealing to him, stop that goddamn election and let us face what is just, what is right, until he can fix it. Let the will of the people prevail in this country. We cannot continue in this darkness that doesn't make any sense. You started, people who are now manipulating results. And that is what you are hailing. We are going into darkness and people are clapping. I am ashamed to be a Nigerian. What is this? Can't we, for God's sake, be just, be fair, and be equitable, and have the fear of the Almighty God before us? This is the period of Lent for Christians. Tell the truth to power. Tell the truth so that the devil can be ashamed. It is doesn't make a shameless thing that we did. And we are clapping. They are going around and junketing. The Almighty God will not accept it. If you build your house on a faulty foundation, it's a question of time before it collapses. We can do better. Today, we have Nigerians who are serving in the government of Biden in America. We have today Nigerians who are serving in the government of the government. We get it right. God bless this Lord. And I must congratulate Nigeria for being calm, because other nations who have resulted into utter violence and total disregard for the rule of law. But I thank our people that they are doing it calmly. But don't take that graveyard silence to be the fact that we are fools. We are definitely not fools. It is shambolic, it is unacceptable, and it cannot go on. We are building our nation on a faulty foundation. What does it matter? 4 years for somebody to rule us. Let the will of the people wanted a change. They voted for a change. They have manipulated the figures all over. We have the results. For God's sake, we have the results. Professor Yakubu, who is the man in charge of your IT? Who is the man in charge of those data? Tell us his name. If you can't fire him, the government should fire you. And the next election must be held completely through electronic process. Otherwise, it is not acceptable. You are building a time bomb for Nigeria. And I plead with you. I have worked with you before. I know you. In fact, many times I have said that your name will be written in the golden pages of history. But what you have done at the tail end of your this is unacceptable. Prof, I am talking to you as your senior brother. It is not acceptable. It is disgraceful. It is shambolic. It is shameless.
Sir,
we must get things right in this country and tell ourselves some serious home truth.
Sir, a very passionate submission. I sincerely hope that those parties involved are listening or at least get the message. And, well, a few months back, we know that you said, well, I'm actually asking whether or not you're going to be applying for Ghanaian citizenship anytime soon. A few months back, you did say that if Tinubu won the presidency, you would be leaving the country and relinquishing your citizenship. I mean, not to make light of the situation, but now we see that it will be in the judiciary's hands in order to take up the fight of the Labour Party and the PDP. We do know that the judiciary has been mired in its own controversy for the last couple of months. And just your opinion on that, is this, how do you see it coming through for the LP and the PDP? What's your position?
You made mention of my position from the beginning, that if these things don't all go well, I will leave. Professor Yakubu reinforced my conviction as a Nigerian. He told us in unequivocal terms that those newspapers who were speculating that he was going to use the old system, all right, are fake news. So which one is fake now? Which one is the reality? Who is lying? You told us, you promised us, you reassured us. For me, I'm almost 80 years old. I can decide to go and stay. Well, in fact, I have concluded that after this election, right, by the time we finish the gubernatorial elections, I am retiring from partisan politics. 25 years of my life in the Navy, in the military, became a general. 25 years in politics, 50 years of my life in the service of this country. What am I looking for? I can go and live anywhere. Even if I like, I can go and live in the North Pole. This is my choice. I want a quiet